Hey carvers! If you're looking to step up your relief carving technique, this one's for you. In this video, we're diving into mastering layered depth and relief carving, the kind of detail that really brings your pieces to life. We're using this beautiful, timeless design of a mother holding her child, inspired by traditional imagery of the Madonna and Child, also known as the Virgin Mary and Baby Jesus, to guide us through the process. This is a fantastic project if you're ready to take your carving from flat to full of feeling. This type of design is great for learning how to work in layers within a relief carving project. You've got simple shapes, but they're arranged in a way that teaches you how to create separation, like between the arms, the fabric, the faces, and the background. It's not a fast project, not super basic, but if you've done some carving before, or you're a beginner looking to grow your skills, it's a perfect next step when you want to challenge yourself. From the soft curves of the child's cheek to the deep folds in the mother's robe, you'll learn how to carve dimension that makes your subject feel alive. This is relief carving at its most emotional and most rewarding. Before we get into the carving, let's set you up with what you'll need. We're using basswood. It's soft, easy to carve, and holds detail really well. Perfect for this kind of layered work. The board here is 5 by 10 inches and about 3/4 inch thick. You can go smaller or bigger depending on your comfort level. For tools, we've got the Beavercraft SC05 set. It's a great go-to for relief carving. You'll get palm-handled gouges and chisels that work well for both roughing out and refining shapes. We also added the G116, a wide, straight chisel for leveling background areas cleanly. And for detail work, we're using the C15 detail knife and C11 chip carving knife. They're great for outlining lines and getting into tighter spots. You'll also may need a pencil, wood glue, to attach your pattern, and some fine sandpaper for finishing up. First step, getting the design onto the wood. You can sketch it freehand if you're comfortable, but using a printed pattern is just more precise. Glue it down with a thin, even layer. This way, you've got a reliable guide to follow once you start carving. Alright, so once the glue is dry, it's time to outline the design. Use a sharp carving knife and carefully trace along all the major outlines of the pattern. You're just cutting along the major shapes. It helps lock in the edges so nothing shifts as you remove the background. Think of it like carving a border around the important stuff. This step locks in your design so that even if the paper gets worn or removed later, your outlines are still clearly visible in the wood. Go slow, follow the flow of the lines, and keep your cuts smooth and steady. Now we start carving away the background. Grab a mid-sized gouge and begin carefully scooping out the areas around your main figures. Don't go too deep just yet. We're just lowering the background enough to start creating separation. You want to be clean around the edges of your outline, so your figures stand out sharply from the surface. Now, let's talk about depth. To create real layered depth, you need to deepen your background to about 1/8 of an inch. That's roughly 4 millimeters. Use your flat chisel or a gouge and work your way around the design. The deeper the background, the more your subject pops forward. Keep your strokes smooth and always carve away from your outlines to avoid chipping your main shapes. This is where we start sculpting the depth within the figures themselves. Think of it like carving in levels. The front arm sits higher than the body, the child's head is rounded and comes forward slightly, and the mother's face gently slopes in. Use your gouges to shape the bigger areas. Smooth transitions and soft curves are key here. You don't need sharp corners. Just focus on where each body part or fabric fold sits in space. Now we move into the details. With your detail knife, refine the facial features. Keep them gentle and soft. Carve in strands of hair, smooth out the cheeks, and deepen the folds in the clothing. Here's where you really bring the emotion into the piece. A soft nose shape, closed eyes, the embrace between mother and child. These little touches make the carving feel human and real. Finally, give your piece a once-over to smooth out any rough edges and enhance the details of your relief carving. A bit of fine grit sandpaper helps soften transitions and makes the whole thing feel polished and finished, without taking away your crisp detail lines. Just a light touch goes a long way. And that's it. You just created a layered, emotional relief carving that goes way beyond the basics. This project is great practice in understanding relief carving technique, learning how to shape, use shadow, and create depth that makes a piece feel alive. It's a timeless design, whether you see it as Mary and baby Jesus, or simply a symbolic moment between mother and child. Try it out, take your time, and enjoy the process. And if you want more tutorials, tips, and carving ideas, hit that subscribe button and join the Beavercraft carving community.